fall to lose it all. Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome to episode 40 of Deadbeat Son with your host, Tré Lamb. And that's me. Happy to be here, happy to be me, you know what I mean? Gotta take some time to enjoy being you. Even anyone can do that, you know? I'm sure some bad people even take a moment and they're like, man, look at me go, you know? That was a little bit of Linkin Park you may have heard a moment ago. Rest in peace to Chester Bennington, dude. I was listening to Linkin Park in frickin' elementary school, dude. Just an angry little kid who liked rock and a little bit of rap. You know what I mean? I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I mean, I'm like 11 years old, contemplating that, just like feeling, oh man, what does it all mean? You know, I'm coming in from recess, being like, I would show that song to I remember I showed that song to a friend of mine. I had it on my Zune, and I was like, you got to listen to this song, dude. It's so sad. And I sat there with a headphone in, and my buddies had the other headphone in, and we're just sitting there listening to Linkin Park, man, you know? And then he was bummed out too. That was the thing. That was like a form of communication as a kid. If you wanted to get a message across to somebody, you know, you wanted to tell them how you feel or kind of let them know something, you would, I would play them the song. And now people, you know, you could send it and that's easier, but like, you know, I would put, you know, make them put in an earbud, and I would have the other one in, and we would sit there and listen to it together, and then I would watch their reaction live. What's better than like somebody showing you something and then just like watching your react? I do that, you know? I do, you know, whenever you like something and you want other people to like, you're just like, what do you think? You're looking for the reactions. Did they react correctly? Did they laugh at the joke that you worked on very hard? Did they scoff at it? Did they do nothing? That's the worst, dude, when you're like showing somebody something. Anyway, today is Tuesday. It is April 18th, and still we're you know, we got some I'm thinking about making some changes to the studio in the next couple episodes. Got to liven it up a little bit, you know. I feel like this is we got this wall that's just kind of stagnant over here, and we got to do something about that. Cuz this has to be a visual experience for you guys, for the 20 people that are watching online. So thanks, by the way, to the people who are watching. I appreciate the support. We've been getting some nice comments on YouTube, getting some mean ones, but getting some nice ones. I put out I like to talk about, I give you updates about my posts. I can't remember if I brought this up or not, but I put out a clip not long ago about giving women UTIs when we have intercourse. And man, people are calling me dirty. They're calling me unhygienic. Do I look unhygienic to you? And then my pits are just... No, I don't. I don't feel unhygienic. My hair's still kind of wet from the shower I took, okay? Jeez. You got to clean yourself, dude. Oh, you got to dirty little peen on you, don't you? No. I told my mom about that. That's how much you guys are getting in my, not you guys, maybe. I don't think anyone's watching this who doesn't like me. Because it's a lot of me, right? So I think that it's not you guys, but that's how much people, it does get in my head a little bit. I mean, it doesn't like ruin my day, but I was telling my mom, I had to talk to my mom about it, and she offered to comment, to throw in a comment on the video and say like, he's clean, he takes care of himself, he washes and this and that. And I said, Mom, don't put yourself out there like that. They're gonna call you all sorts of crazy stuff. And I also don't need, I mean, it's good for engagement, sure, but like, some things I'd like to keep my family out of my Instagram comments. I have an aunt who has gotten her account suspended multiple times because she was commenting in my defense. My family, they'll back me up, baby. They'll back me up. She was calling women, she called this woman, a whore or something like that, and which is a little much, I don't necessarily disagree with the repercussions that she faced because of it. However, I know that she was just looking out for me, and because that's what aunties do, okay? That's what my aunties do. They look out for me, and at the cost of their social media accounts being suspended. So, but we do, I appreciate everybody who's coming out. Speaking of, we had a pretty fun weekend. My buddy Will and I went out to Idaho Falls, Idaho, to do a show, and he opened for me. It was a lot of fun. We had a good turnout. We had over 100 people show up in this place, packed it out, and yeah, it was a good time. I like doing shows in like small towns like that, partly because people show up because there's not a whole lot to do in those places. So when there is something to do, it's like the thing to do. So we had a lot of people come out. Had a guy tell me he liked the belly button joke. He was like, man, I was hoping you were gonna do that belly button bit, and you did, and that was cool. So thank you, man. That was nice of you to say. And I did it. People have requested that like I do certain jokes. And one time a guy asked me he's like, are you the guy who does that joke about Nickelback and 9/11? I go, yeah. And he goes, oh man, I saw that once and like I haven't seen you do it since, man. And that's like my favorite joke. And I was like, really? That's the one? Like, there's so many better, whatever, man. Everyone's got their taste. And the next show, I did that joke, and it gets met with an array of responses. I'll say that. Some people enjoy it, and some people really don't like it. Sold some merch. That was cool. I also realized that, I have that shirt that I have my merch. I'll show it here. It says "Not Like Other Girls" on the shirt, and I made that thinking like, oh yeah, women are gonna like this. The joke is it usually does people like the joke, and so I thought this is great. This one's the women's line of my merch, and they don't. No, they don't like it. I don't think they have It's my sense of humor. So I was thinking like, well, who is this shirt even for? It's because I'm making fun of women. So it's not going to be the ones that I'm making fun of. It's a kind of niche market that I'm selling to, a demographic, if you will. So after the show, we this guy invited myself and my buddy Will out to the bars, and so we're out with him and his girlfriend, and they were very nice to us. They were so nice. A little, even I think they were like younger than me even. And at the first bar, if you're listening, Craig, no hard feelings. But this was funny, so I'm gonna say it. We're at this bar and he buys us drinks. He buys us shots, right? So we're all gonna take a shot, and have it, knock it back. I look back down after taking it, and I look at this guy, and the guy's got tequila all over his face, in his eyes. He's like rubbing his eye. He's like, jeez. I was like, what the hell just happened? What in God's name? And so like the rest of the night, he kept rubbing his eye, rubbing that tequila out of his eye. That's not how you do it, right? Like, I don't know. Realistically, somebody probably nudged him as he was taking it, but man, what a way to start a tequila shot in the eye. I've heard of people, blowing smoke into each other's mouths, or drinking beer through their butthole, but it's not your eye. That doesn't get you drunk. That just gets you upset. They were very lovely all night, and I was starting to get ideas. I was starting to get a feeling, because they were so nice to us and like invited us back to their place and everything. And I was starting to get this feeling. I was starting to question. I was like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna make a proposition to your boy, and that's happened once before, where a couple has asked me to, partake, you know what I'm saying? Involve myself in their doings. And it didn't happen. The request didn't come up. But then the next morning I was there in the elevator at the hotel with Will, and I was like, we were looking at each other. I go, did you think they were? And I didn't even get to finish. He was like, dude, I totally thought that's where it was going. Man, I thought for sure. I was like, me too, man. Man, what the heck? I wonder. And not that I want to do it. Like, I didn't, I'm not trying to do that. But I'm a little like, well, why didn't they ask? What did I do? Did I do something wrong? Was there like a point where they're like on board, like we're gonna get this guy, and then I did something? They're like, I'm good. It didn't happen, but I like small town. I like people from a small town. You know why? Because they don't ask for much, and even if they did, they're not gonna. They can't get it. So, this is gonna be a kind of a sensual episode. Another request I've received from multiple women, is they've asked me if they could insert a finger into me. Right? That's how you say that. There's no other way around it. I've asked friends. I've had a handful of women ask me this, and I've asked my friends, like, hey, is this weird thing happening where they keep asking you to put a finger up in there, and they're like, no. I mean, they'll ask if like I'm into that, but like they don't ask if they can do it. And that just kind of sent me in a spiral, because now I'm like, oh, did I is there something about me? Do I have like that? Do I give off a vibe? Women have asked to insert a finger in me. They've asked to peg me. I think I have that face. I got that. I give off a certain energy where women are like, I'm going to get inside of you. you know, and I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. I mean, I'm flattered, but you know, my friend kind of put it. He's like, He's like, I'm not trying. I wouldn't want. It's simulating, you know, a dick going in there. He's like, why would I want, you know? Now that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, like, why would I want to simulate a dick going in to my ass when I could just get the real thing, you know? I mean, Jesus, I got roommates, you know? So I think it's going to happen. It has, okay, full disclosure, it's happened once. All right? It's happened. It was in college, and it was, you know, a woman I was seeing, we had a very, very, you know, passionate thing going. Very, very passionate, right? And one time she was performing, you know, an oral activity on me, and as she was doing it, hey, I'm chilling, I'm having a good time, I'm relaxed, keyword relaxed, and you know, she took some liberties, I'll say that, and she just God bless her, she just went for it. She did it, and my vision went kaleidoscopic. I was seeing, you know, colors I hadn't seen before. It was overwhelming. Okay, I'll say that it was overwhelming. I don't know how to feel about it, and she did it, and I was, you know, initially when it started to happen, I was confused. I didn't know what was happening. It was a feeling I hadn't felt before, and but I was also worried for a second because she still is, but she's Latina, and they tend to have, you know, a lot of them have like those acrylic nails, and that's not what I don't want. I don't even want to picture that. She didn't. Luckily, she didn't at the time. So reach out, but reach out, you know, send an email in if you've had that happen to you and how you feel about it. If it's something that you, you know, want, if you enjoy, or your experience with it, if you have a story behind it. We can talk about it or not. You know, I get that. Yeah, I didn't know how to feel. I still don't know how to feel. But it's happened. It's happened since, not the actual act, but the request keeps coming up. So I got to figure out what I'm doing that's giving off these vibes. Are they, you know, are they just in tune to something? Do they know something about me that I don't know? Or is this generation of women, do I attract maybe it's a certain type that I attract that wants to get in there, or maybe it's me, man. Maybe it's just me. You know, if someone did it with, you know, handled me with care is all I ask, and maybe give me a heads up before you go for it, you know? This is pretty intimate for episode 40. This is 40 weeks. That's a long time. 40 weeks is what? How many months is 40 weeks? 10 months? Golly, has it been 10 months? I guess so, huh? So, I'll give you updates on that as they come. If it happens again, if it or if, you know, if my views, you know, kind of change on it, you'll be the first to know. I guarantee it. You know, this is how I felt. pretty much the first time it went in. What if it becomes like my thing? You know? I don't know. My mom and I are pretty close. I don't know if I would ask her about that though. I should ask her if she's ever gotten in there before, not with someone. But anyway, but she's all the way in Canada. I don't know if they're even doing that kind of stuff in Canada. I don't know what they're doing in Canada, man. Playing hockey. I don't know if hockey players are getting fingers up in there. I bet they do. I bet some of them do. I did just see this commercial from Canada, like a Canadian television commercial, where it's regarding assisted suicide, which I guess is a controversial thing for people. I am for it. I think people should be able to do what they want with their bodies and their lives. It's your life, you know. Maybe I think, maybe there should be, maybe if anything, I would compromise. And maybe like, you have to have experienced certain things before you're like, I'm out skis, bro. Like if a young person wants to do that, it's like, hey, wait a minute, try, go to the beach, or eat a nice chicken parm from Applebee's, or get a finger in your ass. Like you got to try these things and then see that there's more to life than, but I understand for like people who are ill or towards the end of their life and they're like, I just kind of don't want to be doing this anymore. I totally get that and I support it. But I think we should even go a step further, honestly, than assisted suicide and have suggested suicide. You go to the doctor and they check your note, they run some tests, whatever, and they come in and they're like, yeah, it's not looking good for you there. And you're like, wait, what? Do I have, what is it, like cancer or something? They're like, oh, no. It's gonna take some effort on your part. You're gonna have to do some work here. Like they're like, we looked at your chart and you have, way too much about Marvel, about like current Marvel characters, or, something like that. I feel like maybe some people just need that push from a medical professional. I am sorry I said that. Okay. So yeah, I'm a fan, maybe not a fan, but I support the cause. I support people choosing their destiny. And what's interesting though is advertising it, like a commercial about it. 'Cause it was this whole like, it was very serene and like calm, and it was this woman in the commercial, and she's talking like, about picturing the end of my life, and there's this beautiful other thing, and that there's no shame in this, and that's not, it's about choosing how you feel and how you want to end your life. And it's this commercial, and then it's like and at the end of it, they just go like, they show the name of some freaking company or whatever it is, or talk to a medical professional if assisted suicide is right for you, But it's like, Jesus, what are you doing? It's like there's this whole commercial about like, it's cool and it's like it's not that bad, and there's beauty in it, which is, cool, but like at the end, they just may as well say like, go ahead, do it, just do it, which I think might be a little little too far. Um, I think people should be able to make the choice about it. I don't know if they should be advertised. I don't know if it should be advertised to people. That should be something that like comes up when it needs to, right? You know, you just do what you want with your body, man. Like I saw this toddler the other day walking, little girl that was walking with her family at the mall, and I saw her shirt in big letters. It said, "My body, my choice." The kid's like couldn't have been. It's like 3 or 4 years old, maybe, wearing a shirt that says "My body, my choice." I'm like, I don't even think she chose to wear that shirt, let alone has the mental capacity to make a decision about abortion. Like, why are we politicizing? Why are we politicizing toddlers? You know, we don't know how they feel about it. When I was like in elementary school, when I was like 10 years old or something, my mom and I were in the car, and she asked me, she goes like, she goes, should a woman be able to have an abortion? Or like, do you think it's killing a baby, right? And I was like, my 10-year-old was like, well, literally never thought about this before, but like, you know, I guess that's a baby in there, right? And she cut me off. She's like, no, women should be able to do whatever they want with their bodies. And I was like, okay, all right, fair enough. And that's been my mindset ever since. It's you know, I just didn't know how else. I didn't know there was how else to think about it. So, totally agree. But this kid, I mean, we don't know how this kid feels about it. You know, they wouldn't exist if their mom did the thing. You know, so it's just interesting to put that shirt on a young new person. That's like, because like people politicize babies all the time, and I feel like they're too cute to be making into this big deal, to be putting out there into this whole realm of this whole side of the world, this ugly side of the world. They do it on both sides. You know, I'm not like picking a side. Like you'll see they'll put babies in like MAGA hats, you know, or a onesie that says like "Let's go Brandon," right? Like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this to kids, man? Like, yeah, and even then, people come at the babies. You know, they'll see a baby in a Trump hat. They'll be like, "Fuck you, baby, fucking racist baby." You know, like, chill. That baby doesn't know. Maybe it does. I do think that babies can be. I think babies are, or little kids are, inherently discriminatory. Like they're very, you know, not very open-minded. I mean, their mind is open in that it's just a blank canvas, but you know, they know where colors and shapes go. You ever seen a baby do that? Like this circle goes in here. It doesn't go in here, and it doesn't go in here. This finger doesn't go in here, right? And so I feel like they'd be, you know, if we put babies in charge, this world would be a very terrifying place. So thank God we don't do that. I opened up a lot to you guys on this episode, and I hope those that listen enjoyed it, because we're all just getting to know each other, baby. We're all just gonna figure it out. And that's gonna do it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and check out TréLamb.com for upcoming gigs. I got a couple summer gigs that I'm doing, lining up. Florida, Tampa Bay, Florida. Stay tuned if you're in that area. stay tuned. Check out the website for updates on that. Check out the Instagram, Tré Lamb. You can get merch on my website, trélamb.com, and email the pod if you got a story about a very political baby, or something intimate that happened with a finger when you were in college, and definitely not anytime in the last couple weeks. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next time. Take care.